always looking for an edge. You're always looking for something to kind of justify why you're out there. It's a rough life, but you know, it has its compensations, the music and all the glory, of course. But one of the things that can help along the way is if you get radio support. So I was on the road with the Sundogs, and we had just signed a 5-album deal with Rounder Records, kind of the biggest independent label. And we were excited about it. The new record had just been released. They'd been sending it out to radio. And this was winter, and for some reason our agent, with perfect agent logic, had us traveling through Colorado in the middle of winter. And so we go to Grand Junction to play the kind of the hip local roots music club. And there was a message waiting for me at the club from our record company saying they had gotten us an interview on the local NPR station a couple hours before the show. And that they had the record, they were playing it, and they would love it if a couple of us came down to the station. So, oh, well, great, fantastic, you know, this will help. So we finished the sound check, and TJ, our guitar player, and I decided we'll be the representatives. We're going to drive to the station. So we get the van, and we're driving to the station, and it's snowing. I mean, there's snow everywhere. The roads are icy. This is outside of town on the college campus to where we're going, and we're just kind of sliding around. We're watching people sort of slide off the road in slow motion, you know, in the ditch. And Ted and I are going, yeah, but this is going to be good exposure, you know, good exposure for you. Really, don't step out of the van. We finally make it to this radio station, and they're delighted to have us. The DJ, as it turns out, is a big fan of ours, and he's been spinning the record, you know, for a couple of weeks, and he's thrilled to have us in the studio. And he says, you know, normally we only have a few minutes to do these kind of interviews, but it turns out we have nothing else scheduled really for the whole hour, so we can take it right up to the news broadcast if we want. We're thinking, my God, this is fantastic. So we sit down, we start talking to this guy, and it's clear that he's done his homework. He knows the band, he knows the music, he's excited about it, and every few minutes he'll, you know, crank up another track and turn on the studio speakers, and we're just listening to our new record come blasting out. And TJ and I are just being brilliant. You know, we're hip, we're cool, we're funny, you know, we're just brilliant. And inviting people down to the club, you know, and now this goes on for 40 or 50 minutes. And finally this guy says, well, you know, we're just about out of time. What you say, we spin one more track? You guys tell us what you think the new hit is, and that'll take us up to the news hour. And so we go, oh, well, thanks everybody. Okay, we'll see you down at the club tonight. Fantastic. And he cues up one more song, cranks up the studio speakers, and that's it. And TJ and I are just sailing. I mean, you never get this kind of time. You never get this kind of attention. And we're just pumped up, and I'm just thanking this guy and thinking, oh, thank man, this is going to be so fantastic. This is going to bring out such a great crowd at the show tonight. And the DJ kind of says, well, yeah, I mean, if people could hear it. And I said, what do you mean if they could hear it? I mean, it was great, it was brilliant. Well, what are you talking about? And he says, well, I don't know. Take a look out there. And he points out the window, and here's their large broadcast antenna, and it's just encased in like 4 inches of ice. And there are big icicles hanging from it, and snow is falling and settling on top of it and all around it. And I kind of looked out, and he said, you know, what we're hearing in the studio, well, that's the signal we're feeding, but here's what's actually going out over the air, at which point he flips a switch. And through this wall of white noise, you can hear this little tinkly music. You can't hear a word, you can't hear anything. It's just like this little cry for help. The cacophony of white noise. And I mean, we're just horrified, at which point we reach the top of the hour, and he switches back on the studio speakers just as they go to the news. And the announcer comes on the news and says, Well, local news tonight, our top story is that the Highway Patrol has issued travel advisories throughout the Grand Junction area. Roads are hazardous, many are impassable, many cars are stuck in the road. If you have no urgent reason to leave your homes tonight, stay in your homes. Do not go out tonight. The Sundogs are in town. For the love of God, stay in your homes We finally made our way back to the club, and the only people who attended the show were about 5 people who'd been stranded at the club when they sent out the travel advisory, and they had no choice but to stay and listen to it. Anyway, the road.